My heart beats, I'm getting closer. My heart beats, I'm getting close.
Hello, everybody. How you guys doing today? Thank you one more time to come into the show. I have a very special guest for you. I have one of the top witnesses of Hive blockchain. He's also a coding developer, and he's a event organizer. And he was called the most valuable player for the HiQ magazine. So please give it up for your man, Mr. Roland. How you doing, Roland, today?
Hey, good morning, Wildo. Yes, I'm doing all right, thanks. And yourself?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine.
Thanks for having me.
I just have to tell you that I have my kids going around, so hopefully they go away. If we hear some screaming or fighting, it's normal in my house.
Totally fine.
Okay.
I just brought mine to school, so they won't be disturbing us. But
Yeah, you're lucky. We have like a free day, like a day off in
okay,
Slovakia,
yeah.
so they are going away with with her mom right now. But I have three small girls, so they fight all the time.
Nice.
First time that I saw you, you was the host of the HiveFest
hmm
in Amsterdam, and you was doing the hosting and then presenting everybody, but you also was doing the live for YouTube. Can you tell me what is the HiveFest, or tell the people what is the HiveFest and how you guys came with the idea?
So I started with the idea of HiveFest. Originally, it was called Steamfest before the Hive hard fork, obviously. In 2016, in the end of the summer of 2016, as to me, it felt like the back then Steam community, but let's just call it the Hive community. The Hive community was really getting to know each other very well through the platform, right? By commenting on each other's articles, and there was also a growing community on fireside chat rooms like Hive Chat or the Telegram. Back then, you didn't have Discord that much, but on several chat groups. And to me, it felt like how cool would it be if these people would meet in real life? Because to me, it felt a little bit like the early days of Twitter, where you already get to know people very well through an online platform. So you already know these intimate details and of each other, or not always intimate details, but you already know each other through the online platform. And that worked really well for these Twitter meetups, when all of a sudden you see the person who is the username, and then you say, you are a Wildo,
Yes.
or you
Yeah.
are, hey, I read about your stories and how is it going? Because you already have these starter conversations. You have the feeling that everybody knows each other already, because everybody has seen each other's usernames and um,
Yeah, and then you
so,
put you put face to the nickname that you see on the
yeah,
platform, right?
yeah.
Okay, what is the ultimate goal of the High Fest when you started?
For me, it was back then. It was and still is to bring the people together, right? My personal goal is I like to organize stuff. It really brings up energy in myself to do this kind of stuff. But I think the goal for HiveFest is just to bring the people together, and by just bringing them together, and they can learn from each other and make new valuable connections, or strengthen already existing connections. And those are really the core values, I think, of the event. Obviously, this can happen through either the more educational part, where people challenge each other by listening to their presentations or having discussions on the presentation platform, but also on the more social parts of the event, where people grow together in different kind of ways.
When you talk about energy and you have to be the host of one event, like several days,
Yeah.
how you put the your A game through whole event? Can you tell me some trick or some insight that you make to first to prepare yourself together to be fully energy through whole event, and also to maintain it?
Well, for me personally, this year it was really heavy to have the energy throughout the whole event. I was really tired because I did not really sleep well the days in advance and during the event times itself. So I was not completely rested. But normally, what I would say is that I have a very good preparation, and well, you can only do this much by yourself. So also have a nice team of special folks. I mean, you have the catering you can count on. You have all the technical guys who just do their part in their best ways, and then the volunteer crew helps out. And one of my best friends, Vincent, was helping out really well this year. He has been with me. Well, we know each other already for 15 years, or no, even longer, since 2020. So that's already 22 years. And so we went to school together, and he helped out since the second HiveFest in Lisbon, actually. So he really knows. Well, we are like a team, and it really worked out wonders every time, actually. So
Nice.
yeah, so having enough energy would be having enough sleep. And yeah, I lacked a little bit of sleep this edition because I woke up at 4 both of the event days, and then I couldn't sleep anymore because there were still tiny details I wanted to make sure.
Yeah, I can imagine. But I sometimes I make some live on YouTube or some live platform, and I feel like the expression, and I cannot imagine like in live and doing the live and in live at the same time. It's gonna be challenging. I can imagine that. And what do you think is the most challenging for the attendees when they have to go to the blockchain event?
Well, yeah, there are several, but challenging. Yeah, it depends. I mean, on the one hand, this year it was pretty expensive to stay in Amsterdam in a hotel, at least. So that was a challenge for some. Of course, you could overcome it by some people even slept in tents on a campsite. Then it was really cheap to stay in Amsterdam, but the weather was moi, so it was not the best days to stay in a tent in Amsterdam. But no, or for others, it could be visa challenges, but yeah, the general challenge to come, I would not say it's. Yeah, you just have to convince yourself that you take a leap into the void to do this, and to maybe for some it would be to get beyond their kind of anonymity when you are on Hive, depending on whether you are presenting yourself as yourself, or maybe behind a username, behind a facade, and then you come out. This could maybe be a challenge for some, but yeah, well,
I can
I think for most, or it's really rewarding to come out and meet in person.
Yeah. For me, it was not like because I went like very close. Like I took the decision to go very close because I got a ticket from 3 Speed. Thank you for those guys. And for me, it was like too close to organize everything. And then when you have kids, you have to put that first in place, and then my wife helped me with that. So for me it was like going there and putting all the work to my wife. Like in the first we have a little debate about it. I have it was a back and forth conversation. I have to give her something in return for that weekend, but it ended well. What is the other role that you have other than organizing event in the Hive?
So in Hive, I've been a long-time community member. I discovered it in 2016, and yeah, I am a developer since 2020. I've been making mobile apps since 2013, I think. Yes, I think yes. And before that, it was mainly social advertising, games, and marketing campaigns on the local Facebook platform. So for me, I joined Hive uh, initially. What more people say? I came for the rewards and I stayed for the community, and everybody finds their kind of position in this community, or not everybody, but well, it's like a super diverse group of people, right? On the one hand, we have travel bloggers. On the other hand, we have artists, developers, traders, uh, people playing Splinterlands games. So it's a diverse group of people. And for me, I like I was triggered by the rewards on one hand, and then I found it that the developer environment for to make cool apps on top of Hive was really easy. So it was really easy to deploy cool little apps. And as a personally as a developer, I always like it when if I make something that people use it. So I don't make it because I like it myself, but I like it. But it's very rewarding if you make something that's actually being used. And that was what happened on Hive, because on one hand you had a very dynamic data. Every 3 seconds you have things happening on the blockchain. So this was really cool, that it's a very dynamic and near instant, and people are using it. So it's not a dead platform. And then on the other hand, when you make something and you present it on Hive, and it's adding value or it's fun, there is this initial group of people who can initially instantly start using it, and instantly will use it or try it out at least. And I think in the early days for me, I was mainly developing stuff on the Hive platform for fun, actually, and then and also for useful use cases. So I made mobile. Since I was making a lot of mobile apps, I thought after having discussions with Farosim, it could be cool to make. He suggested what was really missing was a mobile app back then, so I made a mobile app, and which is called Hive Wallet currently. And next to this, I also actually designed the Hive logo. Humble brag, humble brag.
Nice. It's I'm using it. I'm using it. Okay. When you create apps, those apps are used for, like, add value for the blockchain, and everybody start to use it. Like, do you have like a steady growth on the blockchains, let's say, right? But what happened? I don't know if it's happened to you. What happened if the app doesn't work? Like, people don't use it. What happened then?
Then the app dies. I mean, I think I made. It was also in the early days, at least. It was really also about a lot of proof of concepts, right? And so I made the Radio Steam app, which was fun. It was a little bit like the Juke Bells concert on HiveFest, actually. Here you could. It was a generic radio platform, so you could tune in through, I don't know, it was a MP3 a radio stream, and everybody could decide what was on the playlist just by sending a memo to Radio Steam on Steam back then, on Hive. And it was fun, but it only lasted for 2 or 3 weeks, and then people are not gonna continue to send requests, right? That's what the
Like,
DJ should do. The DJ should decide what to play. But it was a fun proof of concept, because you could send a request, it would go to YouTube, automatically rip the YouTube, turn it into an MP3, and put it on the playlist. And obviously, it's not how you should do things. But it was a nice proof of concept, and
that didn't work.
what if the app dies? Yeah, an app dies. An app should work because of the functionality or because of the use case, and if there is no use case, yeah, then there is
Yeah.
no product market fit, and then it won't work.
Yeah. And what do you think? How is? Let me go back to the little bit to the event organizing part. How long it take you to organize an event that has the HiveFest?
The first edition took me. I think I coined the idea in August, the first edition, and then the event was in November. So we have August, September, October, November. That was 4 months, and those were 4 months of full time. After I coined the idea, I had to set it up from scratch, basically, and then everything was super new because it involves a lot of various aspects. On the one hand, promoting the event, on the other hand, organizing it, and also funding it or gathering funds to pay for the event. And so then it was 4 months, nearly nonstop. And when I mean nonstop, really nonstop, because the first version of HiveFest in 2016, I lost 8 kilo, which was nice.
Nice, you say nice.
No, then by all the stress and I was so tired. Then I was really crazy tired, and yeah, then you set up everything. So you have a base, you have a website, and you have a mailing list, and you have a ticket shop, and all these systems are then in place. And you have these connections, you have a fixed live stream guy who likes it and who wants to come with you to the next event. And so then you kind of have a structure in place. So, but yeah, it still changes. I mean, the year thereafter was in Portugal. And then actually, initially, the idea was to do it in the US because, well, Steam was back then was a big sponsor, Steam It. The company behind Steam was a big sponsor, so they wanted the US version initially. So I researched some US edition at first. So I prepared the United States edition initially, and that didn't work out. And then we said, oh, why not do it here in Portugal? And well, you have to go. So although there is a structure in place, you still have every time a new city where you need to go and then need to explore how it works, or need to make the new connections over there, find the hotels to partner up with, and find locations and also venues for more social events, and then logistic wise have bus transportation and stuff like this. So then it still takes more or less. So this year, I would say I announced it, I think in June, end of May, I think I gathered whether people wanted to come, whether people would come actually, because I was a bit insecure about whether people would come. So in May, and then in September it was, so May, June, July, August, September, 5 months, and most of the work is in the last 2 months, I would say.
Yeah, and how you pick the place is randomly. It's like people suggest, or is
Yes.
depending on what factor? Because I have a suggestion for you. Like, what about the Dominican Republic?
Yeah, it's certainly up for it. I think it is part about suggestion. Well, also my own feel and
Okay.
what I would like on one hand, but also, for example, the Bangkok edition was really because, okay, now we had 3 editions in Europe, and you see all these people coming from Asia, all the way from Asia to Europe for 3 editions in a row. So let's do it now in Asia, and let's go for it, and let's do it over there. And
What I have to say about the Dominican Republic is, like, you like kite surfing, right? So we have kite surfing. That's one point. We have good weather.
right.
We have nice hotels. Okay, so the rest, like, I don't know about the technology that we need. I don't know if we can supply over the stuff, but I think we have some good points right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I
And
think somewhere in South America, Caribbean,
yeah,
it would be nice to have the next
could
edition.
be fun. Could
Definitely.
be fun. Could be fun. I mean, there is a lot of
Yeah,
Spanish speaking join Hive,
exactly.
and
This
they
is
got,
also partly why.
yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that will definitely be the way to move forward. But when it will happen, I well, I
You
just
say
well,
you say something
from two
that
weeks
that's gonna
ago
be.
we were.
You say something that is gonna be the last one. What you mean with that is
Did I
gonna
say
be
that?
your last one? Do you
I
say
did.
something
Did I
is
say
gonna
that?
no? Maybe the last one that
I don't
day
know.
or
I said
yeah.
it already in Bangkok. I already thought maybe this would be nice to be the last one, but
You back
I
in
don't
here.
know.
You like it. You like it. Come on, it's part of
Yeah,
you.
I love it on the one hand, yes, definitely, and there is a little bit of community pressure also. Hey, when are we doing the Hellfest again? No,
And
no.
what do you do when one speaker that you already have for months on the schedule and they cancel the last minute? How you replace a person or a speaker on the event?
Um, well, it's first off, it's always a pain in the ass because on one hand, well, it can happen, right? So we are all people, so things happen, things change, and that's something inevitable. But it's always for as an organizer, it's always a pain in the ass. On the one hand, organization wise, but on the other hand, is also because some people maybe booked a ticket because they wanted to see or meet this person. So yeah, that's a bit painful, but okay, one should not per se come for one speaker, but most of the times there are backup slots. And this year I had two cancellations, I think, pretty last minute. But the program was so cramped and it was already so, I mean, it was so dense. There were so many speakers. I think there were most speakers this year of any edition, actually. And so it was really easy to just give some little breathing space to fill up that accidental void. So this is really convenient when you don't print a schedule and only have a mobile app which can be adjusted just by changing an Excel sheet, and then you can just adjust 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, and then it's just super smooth. And
The,
yeah,
the,
that's how it's solved.
okay, let me go into your real life. Can you describe one of your typical day or day style? What do you do in your routine?
Yeah, so we have two young kids, and they go to school. So normally I wake up at 7ish, and then make their breakfast, bring them to school because my girlfriend likes to sleep for a bit longer, although, or maybe stay in her morning robe a little bit longer most of the days. But she will prepare the lunch for the kids to bring, so she's not per se sleeping, but. And then I bring the kids to school, and then my working. Yeah, no, I'm working, but my working day starts the day without kids, and so now I'm having this interview with you. We're currently actually building a house, so and I like to. I'm only doing this most probably once in my life, so I'm trying to learn as much as possible about this, and also trying to it's kind of organizing an event, but instead of having the result being the event where people get together for 3 days, the end result of this is having a place where you can live a significant part of your life. At least that's what I hope. So that's the end result in this case. But it's still bringing together a lot of disciplines, a lot of, in this case, suppliers and specialists.
Yeah.
Whereas with an event, you have a caterer and a technical side, and you have a location, and maybe
And you
some
have to you better be around.
yeah, I definitely need to be around. Yeah. So no, so I'm currently busy with that. And that's funny because when you have kids, you wake up a bit, maybe a bit earlier than you were used to before you had kids. And the
Yes.
cool stuff, what I like about this specifically, is that you change your routine, so you go to bed a little bit earlier. But is construction world starts at 7. So sometimes when I wake up and the kids are watching early morning TV show, when I prepare their breakfast and they're waiting to have it cool down a little bit, I can already call some construction company and they are already in full effect. And so that's
Yeah.
what I really like, that you don't need to wait. With the architect, I need to wait until 9. So I wanted to actually, we were having this conversation in our time at 9 a.m. I wanted to call the architect, but yeah, it was conflicting with our interview, which is totally fine. But no, I have to wait until the architect gets to the office nowadays. So then I work, and sometimes at 2 p.m. I pick up the kids, or my girlfriend does it, or we mix with some parents in the neighborhood. Sometimes you go to school and they want to play with other kids, so then they are off again, and I work another couple of hours, and then normally I go to bed by 10 p.m. or something. No. So yeah.
Nice. Like normal
And sometimes
routine.
when there's
Uh,
wind and there are no kids, and I have a loose schedule, I go to school. I go to school. I go to surf uh, because the beach is nearby. Or yeah, normally at
and
10, I always get my server reports automated coming in, and I do a checkup for that. Sometimes I have urgent emails, or yeah, it's because I'm self-employed, so it differs from day to day.
yeah, yeah, I can imagine. Like all time changing. And let's say that we have some people listening that wanted to be like a top witnesses or part of the programming crew of Hive. What advice do you give to that person? That what skill that person have to get, or what skill you think one person have to focus to be a good programmer or developer?
Uh, if for being a witness, it would be nice if you have some skills in server management, for sure. Um, so yeah, if you can program or read or write apps, for example, in Node, JavaScript-based apps, it's very easy to start building apps. Of course, that's one thing. But if you want to host the Hive software and run witness nodes, it's really convenient if you have some experience in maintaining Unix-based servers. Yeah, so that's basically the only requirement. And yeah, it can be nice if you have some experience in Hive and how the Hive backends work, or how the Hive APIs work. So basically, you get this when you build cool apps on top of Hive. You get to know the interactions with the Hive software backend. Um, so yeah, mainly a little bit of experience, actually.
Nice. And how you get the feedback from the event like a HiveFest? You guys has like a web or people send you email. How you get this feedback or to
Yeah,
improve for the next one?
yeah, this and but yeah, thanks for reminding. It would be nice to have a wrap up. I did some years that I had like a forum ready, people who could just give some feedback on the event. This is actually something I should do, because I only send out a thank you note on the last night, when I was still in the Volkshotel. So then I would send out a Google form and ask for feedback. So this is actually a nice thing to do. I will do it this week. Thanks for reminding. No, but this really helps. On the one hand, you can ask for people for input for upcoming editions, or what they do differently, or well, you can just ask anything, right? You can you have some open questions, or ask about specifics like food, the speaker lineup, and the general opinion on the event.
Nice, nice. So you should like let us know to send you
Mhm.
the feedback, because I
Right.
think that help, because
No, definitely, it really helps. Yeah.
yeah, that's all the time help. And talking to feedback, I
Mm.
will remind the listener that they can give us feedback, give a little a review,
Mhm.
or give a feedback on how we are doing it. This podcast, you can follow us on all the platform. You can listen to us. You can give us. You can comment. Of course, you can
Mhm.
send a comment and give me idea or request who you want me to interview next, and also drop up the question. So this is not only us. This is everybody. This is a community. So we need you to participate, so we grow that way. You can share with your friend, your family, even with your neighborhood. So they're gonna be fun to know about this program. And how you join the Hive blockchain at the beginning. Let's go back a little bit to the past. When was it, like, why did you join Hive?
Uh, I saw it through a friend of mine on Facebook, and before I was actually, it was in 2016, and in end of 2015 I got in a little bit more interested in cryptocurrencies. So I built my own little mining rig to mine Ethereum in our laundry closet, or laundry in our little laundry room in Amsterdam, and we never had to run the drying machine anymore because it was so hot over there. And then a couple of months later, I got the electricity bill because I had four of these huge graphic cards running on a bare bones motherboard, a gaming motherboard. I think I bought for it, and it was so hot in this room. It was crazy. I had to put extra ventilation. And then after a couple of months, I said, okay, I'm going to quit this because we had such a huge electricity bill. And then after it, I mined actually 100 ether, which is crazy amount of money. Or nowadays, it's crazy amount.
Yeah.
And I sold it to break even. Like a couple of a couple of months thereafter, when it was 13 euro or something. But it was really nice. Always sell too soon. Always. Bad
Go,
trading. No, but so then I got this a friend of mine on Facebook who shared. Uh, it was the days. It was just before Hive started. Steam started payouts, I think, when it really launched in July. It was the 4th of July was the first day of payouts, if I remember correctly. And I think it was 1 week before that this friend of mine shared it, and well, I started from there. And then first I was writing these crappy articles, even copy pasting copyrighted stuff in the early days. And then I got some remarks, people saying, "Hey, you shouldn't do this," right? Like this, the Steam police. And I said, "Okay, let's get more serious into it and find my own niche," which was building apps and doing some fun stuff. And then from that on, I grew into the community.
and how much time it take to grow a community has a voice on Hive?
Like, come again?
How long take you to grow a community in Hive?
I would not really know about this. Do you mean specifically the HiveFest community? Or?
No, well, in Hive you have different community,
Mhm.
and then you mentioned that you was growing some community. So I thought, like, maybe like how much time you think it take to grow one community that may say, "Hey, okay, now this community is big enough to go on
Oh,
their own."
oh, I certainly I would not know. I will though. I'm also not really. I'm not giving this any attention or strategies or I'm not into this, to be honest.
Okay,
So
okay.
I would not know. I just know that HiveFest, if that's a community, if the people going or have been to HiveFest one or more times, as was called at last edition, a family, yeah, is something which has grown obviously over the years. But I did not really grow this beyond organizing the event and sending some updates on the event. It's the people themselves who connect during the event. I'm just organizing the event, and then people decide whether they want to come, and they have the good times, and they actually the people themselves grow the community. And yeah, so I
No,
I would
I,
not know, but there are other people you could ask more
yeah,
specifically about yeah, this kind of stuff, to be honest.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not really.
I will. Don't worry, I will.
Okay, okay.
I will jump to that. And I know that you love kite surfing. Can you tell me what is your best places in the world for kite surfing, and what is the city or place or beach that you still want to go? That this is your target for the future.
That's a good question. I uh, I like kitesurfing. Yes, definitely. I love it. I didn't do it for a while because of HiveFest, and last time I did it was in August, I think. So it's a while ago. Um, I like it because you are just out on the sea, and you just have to focus on surfing and not get thrown off of your surfboard. And yeah, so you're just into the water, into the elements, into the wind, and that's where you are at, and you should be at, because well, otherwise you have to swim. But no, about places where I would like, my favorite kite spot is just around the corner. Is here, close to Amsterdam. I live close to Amsterdam, near the beach, and it's one of the best kite spots in Holland because it has a nice current, and there is a pier there is a pier here which stops the water from the current from flowing through, so you have nice waves over there. I like to wave surf kiteboard. And yeah, in terms of international spots, I think I already did the cool spots. I would not know. So I went once to Cape Town. I went there for 2 weeks, and there were 2 weeks almost no wind, which was a pity. Normally, it's the most wind secure place to go to, but this was, I don't know, climate change, I guess. And
Unlock a little unlock for you right
yeah,
there.
a little bit unlucky I was, but over there, because there was no wind. And another time I went to the Cape Verdean Islands, which is also very known for its wind, and this was really cool to do, but really crowded. And here in Holland, so the whole coast of Holland is beach, and almost the whole one of the borders of Holland is beach. I mean, half of the
Yeah.
country is connected on the sea. So uh, there's a lot of places where you can kite surf, and one of the best places is actually close by. So yeah, I don't have any wish list. I was
Okay.
once after Bangkok HiveFest. We went on a bigger family trip because it was just before the kids went to had to go to school, into the school system, and then we were super cool in New Zealand for a couple of months. And then yeah, it was just awesome that we were traveling in a camper van, and one of the 2 days we were on a campsite, super remote, and there was near a lake. And there was one guy who was practicing with an old set, kitesurf set. He was practicing, and it was not something I would have ever expected. But then when he was done, I said, "Hey, man, I really feel I would love to kitesurf because it was such a long time. Can I borrow your stuff?" And he said, "Yeah, sure, mate, no problem. Here you have it." And that was super awesome to just go and start surf over there. But it was not on my list, but it was just cool to do. And they don't actually have rules in here in Holland. There are really specific rules where you can and cannot surf uh, because of birds and whatnot. And there were no rules because it was not here. There were many people who want to kite surf, so there has to be rules. But over there, no rules, and it was really cool. A beautiful nature park where I could surf. Yeah.
Nice, nice, very nice. And can you please recommend me and recommend to the listener any book that you like to recommend and why you recommend it?
A book. Oh wow!
Yeah.
I have no book recommendations at the moment. I should maybe read more, but I hope maybe in a couple of years I will give some more attention to that.
Or a movie, or a movie, or audiobook, anything that you can recommend us, like that you recently you listen or saw or whatever, you know. Share something to us. Give me something. Give me something.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't have. I'm so occupied these days with. Uh, well, my mind is just with. So I read a couple of books, but they're totally not interesting because they are really construction workbooks. So I get all the books the construction students use, and so I'm really occupied with this housing stuff. So I would not, yeah, and then no. I'm sorry, dear listeners.
So yeah,
I'm
we
not
have
very
to
informational on this part at the moment.
now we have to bring you next time to like with the homework.
Oh
Hey,
yeah, the classics. I always like the classic movies from. Uh, well, the
can
Godfathers I loved, and it was really my student when I was a student. I did the hotel school in The Hague, and then we were watching movies all day. So the Reservoir Dogs and the Kill Bills. What's the name? This guy who makes all these movies. You know the
no,
director.
no. I'm terrible with names. I'm terrible,
Okay,
terrible.
okay. Me as well. But
I'm terrible.
you should know obviously, and he's
Okay, we're gonna leave it for like a little homework. Don't worry, don't worry. Can you tell me, is there any topic
Quentin
or
Tarantino, obviously, yes.
i-
Every movie by Quentin Tarantino. You should know.
uh,
And The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, obviously.
is there any topic or question that I should bring to the table that I forget to mention?
Yeah, or when will be the next HiveFest? But I don't know.
Oh, you don't know yet. Oh, yeah. When's gonna be? That's gonna be a good one. Yeah, yeah. But
So I don't know.
hey, you're gonna let us know, please. Of course, we're gonna
Yeah,
be.
I
I'm
think I
gonna be
should
following.
announce more
I'm
in advance, actually. So
I'm
people.
gonna be following you everywhere to see where's gonna be the announcement. That's for sure. That's for sure.
Yes, definitely follow HiveFest on Twitter, HiveFest on the Hive blockchain, and join the Telegram group HiveFest on
Yeah,
Telegram. Those are the
yeah.
main, or you can subscribe through the HiveFest website, through the newsletter. But
And
the
what
newsletter
about
will
you?
only be sent out when there will be
Where,
next edition, yes.
what about you? Where people can find you if people want to follow you or want to see your path?
Well, I'm on Twitter, not very active. I don't. So that's the funny thing. I have this duality with blockchain, a social media blockchain, actually.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Because, yeah, you write something and it stays there forever. That's the idea, right?
yeah.
And I have this, yeah, currently. I did not delete, well, I deleted all apps. So I delete Twitter, I delete Facebook, I delete Instagram apps. I still sometimes am on those platforms, but
Yeah,
not to
but
share, not
you are
really
not
to
there. You are
share.
not hugging there. Yeah, that's the main reason why we are in Hive. That's people have the community here. People have all the news. People have the connection. So we have everything. We have everything. I have to say, Roland, thank you so much for the time that you spent with us. I have to
Mhm.
say thank you for the HiveFest organizer. You did a like amazing job
Thank you. Thank
Shout
you.
out to the volunteer and all the people that you have
Definitely.
in the
Yes.
crew. Like you guys were amazing, and I hope that you come back to the show sooner or later. I don't know,
All right.
maybe previous to the when you have the time for the announcement. Probably you give us
Mm-hmm.
the I don't know the
Yeah.
premiere of the HiveFest. You never know.
All right.
I'm gonna be around for sure. I'm gonna be around. So and you guys gonna be there listening. So shout out to you too. So if you have amazing day, keep it up for
Appreciate the
Mister.
invitation, Wildo.
And hopefully you have a good time. Hopefully you have a good time and see you next one. Thank you everybody for being there.
Thank you, Wildo, for your invitation. It was nice to be here.